Jump on. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we're live on a Monday night, ready to do some podcasting. You can find us everywhere you get your podcast. Don't forget in the show notes, live show coming up on the 9th, September the 9th, downtown Charlotte, Night Theater. You can be there in person. You can be there virtually. Gonna be events, festivities around the area. Gonna be a fun time. Justin's gonna be there. I confirmed that. Woo-hoo! Got a very special, fun episode of the pod planned for everybody. So I think y'all are gonna enjoy it. You're gonna dig that. So make sure y'all, sign up. Also leave feedback. We're doing our feedback shows on Saturdays, so don't forget that. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
and that's not true. It's the folding chair. And the unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
And bullet ball, extreme.
I was saying that with so much confidence. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all right. People make mistakes, and it's all new. We're working on it. So Karen wanted to do a show today. I'm tired. Actually, I was up till late at night writing for the new Drapetomaniacs episode that I'm working on.
That's why I asked you how you feel.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. Please let me finish my thought. So this episode might be a little talky. Might not be as sharp with the segments. Might be a little bit just us kicking it.
Yes.
And I think, everybody's gonna enjoy that. That's what I was gonna say, Karen.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say, and Karen is a terrible person, and she hates me. I wasn't
Karen
forced
me to do the show. I'm about to say I apologize.
So let me play this so I can know where to put the music. All right. Talk about stuff. I think the first thing I wanted to say was I watched Ladies First, a story of women in hip hop on Netflix. It's a 4-part series. And it's so good. I believe Dreamhampton executive produced it. If it's one thing Dreamhampton gonna do is make sure that we don't forget about our sisters, don't forget about Black women and their role in just society and stuff. She also produced the Surviving R. Kelly documentary series, just a, triple OG in the game. And man, I loved it. It was so good. I love hip hop. I mostly only listen to hip hop my whole life. To probably to a degree that might not even make sense to most people, just how little knowledge I have of music outside of rap. But so but I've never really seen anybody give women their things in rap before, and no man was gonna do it. As much as I love hip hop, it comes part and parcel with a lot of the misogyny and patriarchy of men being like just feeling this ownership, the weird double standards where a rapper can rap about being a misogynist, a rapper can rap about doing crimes, killing people, all kinds of stuff if it's a dude, and we still kind of expect women to somehow navigate that lane where they're never as dirty and nasty and sexual as the men, but also not too good of a goody two shoes, or they won't be cool enough to hang with the cool kids, and you need a cosign by men and all this type of shit. And what this was covering like an evolution of women in hip hop, specifically Black women. Like they made sure that they didn't really, not that there's ever been a lot of white women or non-Black women in hip hop doing a lot of shit, but they made sure to like not really highlight that, and I don't blame them for the record. I think it would have been a stretch. Like if anything, they pull up people like Iggy Azalea to point out like how people dabble in hip hop, but they don't really come from it. And they'll use the aesthetic of hip hop, but not take it seriously and not appreciate the culture.
Right.
So I like those breakdowns. I love when they talked about the misogyny in hip hop and the double standard that women have to live under and deal with in the game. The everything from, you know, the men co-sign, like having to co-sign a woman artist and there can only be one per label. And then it becoming about, are women, do you even write your raps? These men must do it. Or you must be fucking these men so you can be on the track, or so they'll be on your track, or so they'll give you beats, or give you studio time, like all that stuff. You know, the diverse tapestry of women. I love that they actually had a segment talking about colorism. You know, I know colorism is that weird thing where it'll never be enough for people, but at the same time, many documentaries will never even mention some shit like that.
Right.
And in a industry where you have people that go by like Big Lotto, you know what I mean? Like you know, it's worth addressing.
Right.
And I love how they kind of broke down how the origins of that stuff. A lot of that started with hip hop video vixens and men fetishizing the other, them foreigns, as they put it. You know, the exotic women that, oh, they might be black, but they got something else, so they better than just black. You know,
we joke about it, but what we call spicy white sometimes.
Yeah. And I think they might could have gone a little bit more into like some of the video vixen stuff, but they're not really rappers in the most part, so maybe they didn't want to like take a huge tangent on that.
And truth be told, that's actually a whole nother fucking documentary on its own.
Yeah, definitely. But I love how they talked about, you know, this industry where you're dealing with people like Russell Simmons, who's, you know, been accused of a sexual assault, but still ingratiated into the community, respected and revered even. Went to Bali, and we just kind of don't talk. We kind of hush talk about why he's in Bali, but we don't treat him the way we would if there was, you know, somebody that we didn't consider a hip hop pioneer, you know.
Right.
You know, there's the clip that everyone kept passing around was the first episode talks about Roxanne Shante being this like the first woman rapper that they really felt like blew up and like, you know, and KRS-One with BDP made a diss song to Roxanne Shante, where she got dissed in the song, and he said she was only good for steady fucking, and they're like, he was talking about a 13-year-old girl at the time,
right?
You know, and you know, of course, BDP has a song about fucking underage girls. Like the misogyny, like I love that they pointed out the rampant misogyny, because I feel like men deny it,
right?
And then a lot of times act like women are just complaining about nothing. And then those same men act like authority figures on like what the women should be rapping about. Now that women have a chance to speak for themselves, it's like,
and
y'all
not be
should
attached to no man.
Yeah, y'all should all be a monolith of upstanding, righteous, everything that is not hip hop. Y'all should basically be making church music or else. And I love that women have rejected that.
Right.
But they talk about the evolution of rap. And then the last one I love the most, because they just give everybody their flowers. And you just see different Black women praising each other. And, you know, like when they like seeing somebody give Lauryn Hill her flowers meant a lot to me, because I feel like at some point it got real cool to just shit on her.
Right.
And
like she ain't never been shit and everything she did was trash. Y'all go, no, that is not a true statement, people.
Seeing so many of her peers and also so many of the new girls that are like, yo, she showed me there was a lane. Right. She showed me I didn't have to be like some man's version of what a woman's supposed to be. You know, and I love seeing that. And then, you know, you could even see like where she was like giving props and support to people, texting them, tweeting them and stuff when like Meg was going through it. They had a whole segment about Meg getting shot by Tory Lanez and like how much of a slap in the face it was to women to have to watch people debate it as if she was just fucking crazy and try to gaslight her and gaslight women on some like, what? I mean, maybe it was just glass, you know. I still, you know, I don't listen to a lot of hip hop podcasts because, you know, most of them are male dominated, and I feel like most of them are it's such a like uninformed kind of like purposefully alarmist type of media that it feels harmful to me, like intentionally so. I know they would say, "Are we just talking?" But it's like when you hear how we just talking, it normally be fucked up and like real fucked up in a way that if it wasn't hip hop, if it wasn't black dudes,
It would
it
not
would be a lot more people being like, this type of show should not, like, it should get more pushback.
right.
But it's just not for me. Also, I don't really need a nigga to tell me what albums are good. I have ears. But yeah, this was cool to see women like control the narrative, talk about it themselves. And I think where there are areas where I can feel like people might think it would be lacking because it's not a very critical area of like they're not holding a lot of women to task, and like when they're talking about Nicki Minaj in glowing terms, they're not stopping to be like, she also did this. And I can hear that, I can understand that, but I really feel like that wasn't the purpose of this documentary.
Correct.
Maybe there'll be another documentary later now that we've had one celebrating women. Maybe there'll be one later that can kind of talk more about, okay, well, sometimes it'd be like this, sometimes it'd be like that. But the way that they really just like, I've said on the show before about one of the things I love about this moment of rap right now for women, the women are working together. I mean, and even somebody like Nicki that can go in on people and be seen volatile, she worked with other women sometimes.
Yes,
like,
she does.
She's not just on an island somewhere like fuck all these women. Some of them she worked with, sometimes it'll get a little dicey, a little messy, but even with all that, man, she still, puts out, she's influenced so many of these artists and works with so many of these artists too. And so I love that they covered that. They didn't cover like Cardi B fighting, security and stuff with Nicki Minaj at the gala.
Right, because this sounded like this was in the documentary for that.
It was just a celebration.
Right.
It was just a celebration. Like it actually made me a little emotional when like they gave Queen Latifah her flowers. Because she's just such a dynamic person.
Right.
And they talked about her coming out during the BET Awards. Although I'm always a little bit iffy on that because like I know the language and the words she said. I'm not sure she technically came out, but the documentary treated it like she did, which is fine. If she didn't object to it, then I'm just gonna roll with that.
Right.
But when they talked about how young she was, starting Flavor Unit, of course, just kind of, not that this is a thing to necessarily aspire to or that I view it this way, but that transcending hip hop, you know what I mean? That thing of anything she wants to do, she made a jazz album. She became a TV star, then a movie star. She just kind of does what she wants to do and doesn't seem to have any limits.
Correct.
This black woman from New Jersey that came in with a completely different image at the time that really hasn't been duplicated to this day.
No, sir.
And so it just felt good. Like I highly recommend it. I give it 5 out of 5. If y'all out there and y'all love hip hop like me, or y'all just love black women and love seeing everybody looks so good because everybody had their makeups and their fashions, and black women gonna stunt, especially when it's them on the makeup, them on the camera, them on the story, them telling it, like everybody look good in all different ways. Every skin tone look good. I actually love that it was so much intentionality that they put in there about how diverse the game was. You didn't hear nobody judging nobody. It wasn't none of that. And these bitches be doing this type of rap. And what about this type? Everybody was just like, yo, we need that. We need everybody's voice. And we love that y'all are contributing. So, 5 out of 5.
Yeah. What was that documentary that me and you watched the other day in there? In the front room, I came in there doing lunch break. I don't remember what it was. It was something on Netflix. And it was like an hour and some change.
I had to look up my Netflix history.
I think it was on Netflix. It was really good because while you was talking, I kind of wanted to talk about that one. And I do not remember the...
Do you know what it's about? You say you want to talk about it. Karen, we going rogue, y'all. Trying to see what I can do. See if I can fix this behind the scenes.
I'm sorry. It was a documentary. It wasn't a long documentary. I want to say it was Netflix.
I don't see it.
I came in there for lunch break and it was like a documentary.
Do you remember the topic though? But you do remember liking it though?
Yes, and I should have remembered it or jotted it down. But I remember I was on my lunch break, and I came in there one day. We just watched it during lunch break, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." And I don't remember the fucking name of it. My bad.
I'm looking and I don't see it. Maybe it wasn't on Netflix.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe.
All right, this is bad podcasting. I'm gonna just move on from this.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because I can't find it, and I don't. It could have been on some other thing, and I just don't know what it was.
No problem. I don't remember either.
And since you don't know like the topic, it's kind of hard to narrow it down. Because I'm looking at my Netflix history, and
no problem.
The only documentary I watched was really like Ladies First, according to this.
Okay, never mind then.
All right. Well, I mean, I watched Flavorful Origins, but you didn't watch that with me. It's just really short food documentaries, like 14 minutes long, and it's about like mutton, lily, flaxseed, stuff like that.
No, I didn't watch that.
You didn't watch that with me.
I remember it was like maybe an hour and some change, and I do not remember what it was about. Crap, I wish I could. Sorry.
You remember the length, but not what it was about, but you did like it.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
No, it don't.
How did you like it? What does that mean? How do you know you liked it and you don't know what it was about?
I don't remember.
What?
I am of no help. We can move on. I'm sorry. This is what happens when Roger don't have segments. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I get off topic and we go to the left.
Loose cannon. A woman is fighting for her life after she and her partner fell 33 feet from a medieval wall in Croatia that was featured on Game of Thrones.
33 feet?
Yeah.
Why are you out there fucking it with the shit Jon Snow that was on? What is this?
Yeah, an Australian woman's fighting for her life. She and her partner fell around 33 feet from a medieval wall in the Croatian city of Dubrovnik early on Saturday morning. They slipped and fell from a wall between two restaurants in Pau, a neighborhood in Dubrovnik's Old Town. It was around 2:35 a.m. Oh, I wonder if they were drunk.
I bet you they were.
The couple fell when the woman, who was 26, leaned against her partner, who was 34. Oh, they trying to call him weak. That's whack. The incident, you can't hold her up. The incident appears to have been accidental with no indication that anything criminal took place. Breathalyzer test revealed the couple was under the influence of alcohol. Okay.
That makes sense. But
it don't seem like that. Oh, wait. I was going to say it don't seem like that much, but then I just remember it's 0.08 above the legal limit to drive. So the man had 0.2, which is like 0.08. He had, so if 8 is over the legal limit to drive, he had 20. And she had 0.3, which is 30. So
okay.
But they may have been
yeah, they were in the vehicle. Yeah, and
they weren't in the vehicle. They were walking, but yeah,
okay.
They wouldn't have been able to operate a vehicle,
right?
But yeah, man. So they had to put her in a coma.
Oh my. Yeah.
Now, I don't see anything about the dude though. That's wild. Did he die or something? Why the fuck is he not even? Or is he fine?
He didn't make it.
Did he just fall down and got up and walk? Was like, I guess I'm good. The couple was taken to the hospital. The young woman's in intensive care unit in an induced coma. She's in a life-threatening condition. Spinal and brain damage, as well as vertebral stacks of vertebrae fractures.
Oh shit.
The man had surgery on a broken leg, but he's in stable condition.
Ooh,
how? Wow. Oh man. That's terrible. Okay, that's why you gotta be careful on these Game of Thrones sets. Game of Thrones not even filming no more, still taking lives.
Right? Mm-hmm. The White Walkers are still taking them out.
Study reveals paper straws contain dangerous forever chemicals posing health risk. Man, what the fuck we supposed to do then? Damn, y'all the ones said the paper straws gonna keep us from choking otters or some shit.
Chap, I'm telling you right now, I hate fucking paper straws. You suck on them shits get soggy. They don't hold well. Like, fuck that.
The one benefit was that it was supposed to be good for the environment.
Mm-hmm. Like sucking on a piece of paper.
And now we find out that it's got forever chemicals in it. So that's even worse. 39 straw brands got tested for synthetic chemicals known as poly and perfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS. Most straws, especially paper and bamboo ones, contain many of the chemicals. Might as well suck on plastic then, I guess.
May as well.
The chemicals were found in 90% of paper straws, 80% of bamboo straws, 75% of plastic straws, and 40% of glass straws. None of the steel straws showed any traces of the chemical. This study brought to you by Big Steel.
Apparently so.
My goodness.
Yeah, I'm scared of a steel straw. I'll fuck around and cut myself. I'm good.
I don't want a glass one either.
Right. Shit, break anything.
We all gotta die, man. Just sip on some straws. Fuck it. I mean, what you gonna do?
What else you gonna do? Just drink out the cup.
All right. Doctors warn against beer tanning.
What the fuck is a beer tanning?
It's a trend seen on social media. What?
White folks. Who the fuck else is beer tanning?
Beer tanning? I've never heard of this in my life.
Right?
So I guess so I guess people are using this instead of sunscreen.
Child, what is wrong with people? Fucking beer tanning.
It feels.
What are you trying to do? Get yourself flavored like beer chicken? What is this?
It feels like the kind of thing that you hope is made up. You know, like those TikTok trends that go viral, but then you find out nobody made the NyQuil chicken. You know, because beer tanning seems.
I feel like so made up, don't it?
I feel like we found all the uses for beer. It just seemed too late in the game for y'all to be discovering beer can be used for tanning.
Come on now.
Sound like
this is something y'all would have been found out a long time ago.
Sound like you just basting yourself like some ribs.
That's what I'm talking about. Beer chicken. The fuck is this?
You just slow cooking yourself.
You salt and peppering yourself.
Sit on the beach and soak in the warm rays. But when it's this sunny and bright, the first thing you may want to do is reach for the sunscreen.
Actually, we put it on before we even left so that we would make sure that we had good coverage and that it had time to absorb and do all the things it needed to do. But yeah.
Okay, so far no problems. This is just sunscreen.
Everybody needs sunscreen, no matter what your metal.
Right. And the thing is that you're not out here trying to get a tan, right?
No, we're out here trying to enjoy the weather and enjoy the park and the sun, but not damage our skin.
But the latest round of bad advice from the internet could cause a lot of damage to your skin because beer tanning is a thing. Just a bottle of beer poured on your skin and a dose of UV and other harmful rays baking you to a fine crisp. No sunscreen, no tanning oil, and no protection.
I was shocked. You know, like, why would anyone do this? I think besides everything we think about with like just ultraviolet exposure and, you know, putting yourself outside without sunscreen, but why would you want to put something sticky and messy all over your body?
Right.
You want to be crispy? You want to smell like beer?
Right. I bet you that shit smells horrific.
Cleveland Clinic dermatologist Dr. Shilpi Caterpal says beer tanning has the potential to do very damaging things to your skin. She says beer can keep your skin from breathing, which could make you more susceptible to heat stroke and dehydration. But the worst part of all this is that beer is just water and hops. It leaves your skin too unprotected. The doctor says it's a bad message for a very vulnerable group.
The age groups that are, you know, following these trends are like the 15 to 34-year-olds. They're the ones that are, you know, have a lot of these views of like, you know, the beer tanning and all these fads. That's also the same age group that has a disproportionately high incidence of skin cancer, and that is on the rise. So we're just going to see that number go up as this population ages.
Dr. Caterpal says there are alternatives to laying out in the sun and smelling like a bar just to get the look you want. She says self-tanning sprays can be used safely, or if you are at the beach, sunscreen has to be your best friend.
Seek shade when you can, wearing sunscreen broad spectrum, which is UVA, UVB, SPF 30 or higher. There are people that don't like the feel of the sunscreen. So, you know, if you want to throw on UPF clothing that has an ultraviolet protective factor.
When they going to come up with whiskey
In
tanning?
Cleveland, Roosevelt Leftwich.
No, thank you. They, you know, because people actually, you know, drink beer while they're out in the sun, and they tell you don't do that shit.
Yeah, it dehydrates you.
Right, you fuck up, and you're gonna take it and put it on your skin.
I'm just trying to picture. First of all, who was the first person to do this dumb shit? This feels like some hey, watch this bullshit. But then also like, when is the first beer maker gonna come out with UV beer?
Oh, trust if it. Yeah, they gonna be like, shit, if y'all want to come on over here, come on, get this Budweiser FPS 300 or whatever the fuck she said.
Somebody's coming out with Miller Ultraviolet. That's coming out soon.
Come on.
y'all gonna be drinking it and pouring it on yourselves and walking around smelling like fucking beer. What if you get pulled over by the cops? They're not gonna believe this.
No, they are not.
Officer, I was just beer tanning. Okay, I'm slurring because I was in the sun too long. Oh, I guess I gotta go to jail. Can't you see how crispy I am?
Not how crispy I am.
Hawaii Power Utility takes responsibility for first fire on Maui, but faults county firefighters. Hawaii Power Utility. So it's kind of interesting because, this is one of the issues people said they think started the fire, and Hawaii's electric utility acknowledges power lines did start a wildfire on Maui, but faulted county firefighters for declaring the blaze contained and leaving the scene, only to have a second wildfire break out nearby, and that became the deadliest in the U.S. in more than a century. Okay.
So everybody pointing fingers at each other because they basically is like, y'all should turn to power, and it was like, y'all shouldn't have left. And I think, because I've been, listening to the NPR and all these other podcasts. They talked about something called phantom fires, where it looks like it's out, but it's not. Zombie fires, I'm sorry, where it looks like it's out, but it's not actually out. It's like burning up underneath. And I think they said this is a situation like that happened, and it was literally continually burning, even though it looked like it was out.
Well, also, two things can be true.
Agreed.
Maybe both of these things happen. Maybe both have to share in some of the blame.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we're going to end up in the blame game because we all know lawsuits are coming.
Yes, they
penalties are coming. Money is going to come. Possibly criminal charges.
Mm-hmm. Because so many people died. Some people, they still don't know where their bodies at. But some people wouldn't be surprising if we never find them because they literally were burnt to the place where they, unidentifiable, or either they drowned. Because, a lot of people just went out in the ocean.
It said the fires on the morning of August 8th appears to have been caused by power lines that fell in high winds. The Associated Press reported Saturday that bare electrical wire that could spark on contact and leaning poles on Maui were the possible cause, but Hawaiian Electric appears to blame Maui County for most of the devastation.
Yeah, because nobody, like you said, it's one of them things, but they know the lawsuits and shit coming, so everybody wants to point the finger at, because all y'all gonna get sued no matter what. When they do these lawsuits, they're gonna lump all y'all bitches together.
The fact that the fire appeared to reignite that afternoon and tore through downtown Lahaina, killing at least 115 people and destroying 2,000 structures. And I know they also released like 300 or so names of people that were still missing.
Right. So, like I said, it's gonna be some people that like they literally ain't gonna ever find them. But like you say, if you one of them people, because a lot of people actually went into the water, and guess what? If you're not strong or you can't swim, whatever, you just gone.
The United States could soon recommend Americans limit alcohol consumption to 2 drinks per week. The U.S. may soon advise Americans to limit their alcohol consumption to no more than 2 drinks per week, according to the director of the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, which is NIAAA. Yeah. The agency currently recommends that men drink no more than 2 drinks per day, and women stick to just 1 drink per day. The U.S. recommendations will come up for review in 2025. Going from 2 a day to 2 a week is a drastic change.
Mm-hmm.
And I do wonder how much of effect does big alcohol have on those recommendations.
Come on, child. They're gonna be like, nah.
I mean, alcohol is basically poison, Coob said he drinks a couple glasses of wine per week. Say he's keeping an eye on Canadians' big experiment with interest. Oh, because Canadians? How do Canadians get? Oh, I see. Because Canada has stricter guidelines. They recommend 2 drinks per week, so we might be matching them.
Yeah, Americans and big beer and sports and shit. People, they ain't gonna go for that.
Here's my question. When's the last time the guidelines to how much to drink have changed the way or how much a person drank?
Right.
This ain't like prohibition times or, temperance times. Like, who the fuck is like, hey, Surgeon General says 2 drinks a week. Like,
nobody.
I feel like people just drink when they want to until they don't want to, and then if they're like an alcoholic, then the drink recommendation definitely ain't gonna change nothing for them. So
sure ain't.
It just kind of feel weird. Like, what's the point? I mean, it's not like we're outlawing it. Like a Surgeon General say, don't smoke cigarettes. We're gonna sell them to you though. How many cigarettes should you smoke? 0 per day. This is two a week, 2 a day. I don't think people are really. I don't think it matters. It's too late. Have you heard about vampire facials, Karen?
No, some just white folks is doing.
Vampire facials at a New Mexico spa have been linked to additional cases of HIV.
Fucking with their skin? What the fuck is this?
I mean, it's a facial, but it's a vampire facial.
Oh, we don't do cucumber scrubs no more?
We doing vampire scrubs. We doing True Blood over here, baby.
Fuck that. Oh, no!
Yeah, so former clients of a now shuttered New Mexico salon are being urged to get tested for HIV after new infections linked to vampire facials at the facility were discovered years after its closure. On Wednesday, the New Mexico Department of Health announced that a newly diagnosed case of HIV was reported to the Infectious Disease Bureau. The patient's only self-reported HIV exposure was a vampire facial they received in Albuquerque in 2018.
God damn.
Vampire facials use the client's own blood pulled and reinserted with microneedling to refresh the skin on their face.
Child, y'all get out here with that bullshit. I'm gonna take this apricot scrub and go about my life. The fuck is this?
We do a lot to chase beauty,
Yeah, old is life, but human beings just fight that shit forever. No,
beauty is pain.
Fuck that.
And apparently sometimes it's getting micro needles, refreshing your skin with your own blood. Now, how would you get HIV from your own blood?
Probably because they didn't clean the equipment. I guarantee you dealing with blood. So this is not a medical facility. So I guarantee you they wouldn't going through all the proper steps and all the proper channels to sterilize and clean and all that shit like they should between patients.
Yeah. They immediately shut down the VIP spa after the client. This is in 2018. After the client reported the infection, and the initial investigation found that their injected treatments including vampire facials and Botox could spread bloodborne infections like HIV, hepatitis B, and C.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be surprising. Like I said, I've never heard of this, but I guarantee you other facilities do something like this or something similar to this. Who knows? Y'all, I know particularly with Botox. Y'all not the only place to do Botox, and they're not having this issue.
Yeah, so they're saying that when they did an inspection, they were alarmed by how the VIP spa stored, handled, and disposed of needles.
You're right. I tell you, this is that they're not hospitals and they're not trained, and they probably wouldn't follow in state and county and city guidelines. And a lot of that shit, depending on what you're doing, you're supposed to put in them liquid or clean them or still. Some of that shit you're just supposed to just throw away. You can't throw them in the trash can. You're supposed to, have somebody like they do at the hospital. Certain things, a person comes and collects them or whatever. Like you can't be just all willy-nilly with shit.
I hear what you're saying, Karen, but needles expensive these days. Okay, now go and put that needle back. It's barely being used. Shit. That needle still got some blood on it, girl. You better put that. You better stop wasting my good needles.
That's probably what they told him. You better rinse that needle off. That ain't how this shit works.
Reach around, get that rag, and wipe that needle off and put it back out there.
Just put some Clorox on it. It'll be all right.
Put them needles in the dishwasher. Don't worry about all that.
Hand wash that needle and use it again. You know how we do.
Ooh, prick myself. I'm gonna use some of this blood though. Damn, that's scary because you just trust that people are doing their jobs and following the guidelines, and they got a certification with a grade on the door, and you just go in to get the vampire facial. And now the worst part of it, if you got HIV or hepatitis B or C from this vampire facial, you can't even really tell nobody about it because they're going to blame you like, oh, what was you doing? Getting the blood in your face? Of course, nigga, you got HIV. It's like, no, that's not how it was supposed to work.
That's not how it was supposed to work. I paid for a procedure. Like I said, it's probably done. Like I said, first time I've heard about it, but it don't mean it's not a thing. So, guarantee you other facilities are doing it and shit like that. And this is just one of the ones that didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Well, according to the owner, Maria Ramos de Ruiz said they only use disposable needles. I open them in front of my clients every time they come, she said to the outlet. So
we don't believe you.
She in the back. Tape it back down. Tape it back down. I'll open it. See, if you open it in front of them, they think it's clean. So just give me some super glue real quick.
We need more people.
All right, man. Beauty is danger.
Yeah, apparently it is.
I'm scared. I don't want to deal with it.
Child, I'm going old school. I'm good.
Southwest Airlines plane hit a light pole at Jacksonville International Airport.
God damn. They're out there hitting poles like me. The fuck is this? Oops, made a wrong turn. Boom. The fuck is this?
That's some Spirit Airlines. I didn't know Southwest was doing it too. It made contact with an off-pavement light pole during taxi at Jacksonville in Florida, International Airport in Florida. Where we're landing in Jacksonville will be oops.
Did you see that light pole?
Oh shit, my bad. Oh man, just snuck up on them. This is like the sequel to Denzel's Flight movie, you know. This time he's on the ground hitting poles and shit. The aircraft was carrying 172 passengers, 6 crew members at the time of the incident. Nobody was hurt. Passengers were later rerouted to their destination, Southwest said in a statement. Damn, why are you getting delayed? This nigga hit a light pole, girl. Girl, I was trying to he said he forgot to put his signal on. He ran into a light pole. Only in Florida. Speaking of wacky news, a man admits to smuggling pythons in his pants. Pleads guilty in the Albany federal court. Listen, we've all been there.
You look like you're happy to see me and it's moving.
Right. Look, we all been accused, okay?
I know they say swing that dangling, but I didn't know it's supposed to go to your knees.
I mean, he shouldn't have been wearing them gray sweats. He wouldn't have got caught. He was snuggling Burmese pythons in his pants in the New York State from Canada in 2018. Calvin Batista, 37, admitted he snuggled the 3 snakes as he rode on a bus that crossed the U.S.-Canada border. Customs and Border Protection officers discovered the snakes while reviewing his passport and conducting a border search. How could they tell?
Because he was standing there and the shit was probably wrapping around his legs. I was like, sir, why is your pants moving?
Right.
I can guarantee you that's what they had.
What's up, man?
Sir, what is that? What are you talking about?
The young adult Cobra! The young adult snakes were in bags attached to his pants near his inner thigh. Batista did not obtain the required permits to import the snakes. You don't say. They're not native to North America, are considered invasive species, and they are. And they invading through the border.
All right. That means when they get here, you're going to have a whole crop of shit problems here where you go, these things don't belong here, and they're killing other shit.
Yeah, because they're going to get big, and then somebody going to fucking let that shit out the back door, flush down the toilet, and then next thing you know, we got motherfucking snakes on the plane.
Right. Stop that.
He could face a potential maximum term of 20 years in prison.
Don't do that. Don't be bringing on animals across the border.
I didn't know you can get that much time for this.
I didn't know you can get that much time, but yeah, you don't need to be doing that. Like, it's a reason why they like don't bring that shit over here.
Yeah. That is crazy. Let's do one more. All adults under 65 should be screened for anxiety, says a health panel.
I believe that.
All young and middle-aged adults should be screened regularly for anxiety and depression, even if they don't have symptoms, an influential public health group said Tuesday.
Yeah, because the thing about it, and I'm a witness, and I know a lot of people underneath the sound of my voice, a lot of people hear these words, but it shows up on people differently. A lot of people are depressed. They don't know they're depressed. A lot of people have anxiety. They don't know they have anxiety because they don't know what they're looking for. And it's quote unquote easy to see it in other people, but it's real hard to see it in yourself. So it's a lot of people, and people get anxious about all types of things. And a lot of times for a lot of people, these particularly with anxiety, it could stem from childhood or something going on, PTSD, like shit that actually needs to be addressed that people don't address it because you raised up in households. A lot of our parents were depressed and had anxiety and shit like this. They didn't know how to address it, they didn't know what to do with it. But you as a child, you have to deal with the consequences and repercussions of these adults with these unaddressed issues.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think also like we're becoming more aware. I feel like if one is, it's interesting to say over 65, I guess we not worried about them. It's like, nigga, you finna die. Don't worry about your mental health.
But they need to.
I know. I'm just making jokes over here, Karen.
They was like, you getting too old to be concerned about anxiety.
Right. Ain't you supposed to be a Walmart greeter? Ain't no anxiety with that other than the mass shootings, the violence, the theft,
Right.
While the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force has recommended doctors assess patients for depression since 2002, it is the first time the group has advocated for routine screening of anxiety in adults. Pregnant women and those who gave birth within the past year were highlighted as people who should be screened. Because birth, you got postpartum depression, and it also just changes in your body, changes in your lifestyle, changes in just the way people treat you and see you.
Mhm.
The fact that your babies are fucking sleep deprivation machines for a lot of people, and a lot of that labor of taking care of a child falls on the person who was pregnant. So yeah, I could definitely see how that would be a high risk factor for depression.
Agreed.
This is a call to action, said Dr. Wanda Nicholson, vice chair of the task force and professor of prevention and community health at the George Washington Milken Institute of Public Health in Washington, D.C. in an interview. The guidance comes as emotional stress has skyrocketed in recent years, increasing demand on the limited number of counselors and therapists worldwide or nationwide. We recommend that there can be limitations in terms of access to mental health providers in the healthcare system. There was not enough evidence to back screening for adults 65 and older, the task force said.
Yeah, I can see this because even with myself, I just came, like I said, to the realization because a lot of people grow up and they just think this is just the way they are. But this is just the way I am. But sometimes just the way you are is anxiety ridden. You just don't realize it. You just think it's normal. Because like even with me, you had talked about like some of my behavior. Like I've realized, like I said, because I'm more aware and alert, I've realized I get anxiety, and my anxiety is higher when I'm trying to solve something or fix something, particularly technology based. I go and I try to figure it out on my own, and I go through the process, and I've done everything I could do. Then I get mad, and that's my anxiety, And then by the time I come to you, I'm infuriated because I'm like, But that's anxiety, and I know for a fact a lot of that stems from childhood, from my mama giving terrible to bad instructions and then expecting me to know and then making it my fault that I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, And so for me, I, as an adult and as sitting down and kind of doing the work and analyzing myself, I understand that's a trigger for me. Like I completely understand that. And, because you had to kind of point that out to me and kind of let me know that it's okay. It's all right. The world is not ending. It is okay. And, this frustration does not, you don't have to go into fight or flight because you can't figure out how to do a program and stuff like that. And I think in my mind, I know this might sound wild, but in my mind, I feel like I'm a failure if I have to come to you. I feel like, okay, I've done everything I could do. I can't figure it out. Fuck, now I got to go to him and he going to look at me. And I put like this is that anxiety speaking. I know that you're not going to do this, but in my mind, he gonna think I'm stupid. He gonna think I'm dumb. He gonna think I don't know how to figure this shit out. Not realizing you had to tell me. You was like, baby, half the stuff shit you asked me, I might not know either. I just go figure it out and learn it on my own. But also, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Also, something I've learned too, particularly being a woman and how we are viewed when we make flaws compared to how men make flaws. Men are allowed to go out and fuck it up and just make all these errors in certain things and not even know how to fucking fix cars, but they're respected, and shit like that. Versus women, you do one thing wrong, you're a bad mother, you're a bad mom, you're a bad person, everything about you is flawed. Like, and a lot of women go, well, I don't want to deal with the criticism, I don't want to deal with being picked apart, and so I just won't try and won't do shit and won't even attempt, because guess what, I don't have to deal with the criticism if I never try. And so, I think in my mind, a lot of those connections contribute to my anxiety. So I'm more aware and I'm more alert with that. And I try to have more patience with myself, when I'm trying to figure it out, try to breathe more and be like, it's okay. And then when I go to you, be able to explain myself more, but like, look, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this. I don't know what else to do. And we can work it out together, because you're not the enemy. But, in my mind, because I was, as a kid, treated like the enemy, like it was my fault because I didn't know and I didn't understand it. I didn't comprehend it, based off of the bad instructions that I was being told, that's where that anxiety kick in. I know it's different for various different people, but think about your behavior and how you respond to things, how you respond to your children and your mate and your loved one and situations and surroundings. A lot of times, yes, I do agree that these things need to be addressed and these things need to be pointed out. And a lot of people have anxiety about all types of things. And for a lot of people, truth be told, social media gives people anxiety. A lot of people will not admit that. You can tell by reading their posts and things like that. Like, oh, this is your anxiety speaking and coming out and stuff like that through online and interacting and things like that. But it's really hard to get people to understand. Sometimes you need to walk away. Sometimes you need to step away. But it's very hard to do when whatever this thing is, sometimes it's an addiction. And the addiction causes the anxiety. And the anxiety causes the addiction type of thing. And so I think these things do need to be addressed and talked about. And particularly here in this country, with people, everybody wanted to get back to normal. People don't talk about it. This country still fucked up from COVID. This country still fucked up from Trump. This country still has PTSD from that and shit like that. This is why you have, a lot of, people, they doom and gloom about everything now. And a lot of that may, I think personally, may stem from some people's anxiety and depression, and all these things are wrapped up in one. These are things that need to be addressed. But I think, we live in a society where everybody is, work it out. Jesus can work it out. Push it, particularly being black, a lot of black and brown people, they don't have time to sit down. I got kids, I got bills, I got this, I got that. They don't have time to address these things and fix themselves, because, like I said, particularly being a mom or a woman and things like that, if I'm broken and I'm falling to pieces, a lot of times for women, people don't want to fix you. Everybody wants you to fix them, but a lot of times people don't take the time to look at the person that's doing all the fixing and be like, oh, this person might be broken, and allow them to be broken and allow them to heal and allow them to be a better version of themselves so that everybody can benefit from them being their best. We don't live in a society like that. It's pull till you break, and then when you break, say it's your fault.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think also is that this is the kind of thing that's really not about people allowing you to heal, you have to take it.
Yes. And
it's not about people aren't going to make a space for you to take care of yourself. But also I think, the social media part is huge. I think, some of the bigger society, we're so aware of everything now. The news is 24/7. It's breaking news 24/7. That's a huge part of it. But what I would also say is I think it's probably always been this way. We just haven't had the words, and the professionals and the industry hasn't been big enough. It's been seen as a thing of people with means, and still is a thing for people with privilege in a lot of people's minds. Mm-hmm. People probably always been depressed and anxious and all that stuff. Just, living in this world and adjusting to shit. So I think that's a big part of it. And I think the internal monologue is not as much as society and societal impulses and influences may attribute to some of it. The internal monologue is not one that is necessarily connected to society, by which I mean there may be pressures on women that men don't experience, but like when a person's experiencing anxiety, no matter what privileges they have and intersections they have, the anxiety doesn't care about that. It's not a rational voice.
Right.
I know I have anxiety. I've, done a lot of stuff, a lot of work to try to like curb it and to deal with it. But there's certain things that I know are going to trigger it. And when I know it's going to trigger it, I just start thinking of my ways, that my coping mechanisms and things that I can control and things I can do. And a lot of times you find out, you're stronger than you think. At least for me, I found out I'm stronger than I think with certain things. So I'm like, I was able to do that. And I never like feel like I'm pushing through it and feeling like I conquer my anxiety. I just feel more like this is a thing that is happening. I'm going to use my rational brain. I'm going to try to adjust to what I can expect, adjust my expectations. But it kicks in sometimes, and it kicks in a lot less now because I'm so much more aware of it. Having been in therapy and stuff and talked about it, and done these problems to solve, and these not workbooks, but this homework that I was given, it to this day is helped me. But once again, it's a journey you have to take yourself, because nobody can take it for you. And I think a lot of stuff too is self-diagnosed. So you can go to your doctor and tell them you have anxiety. They ask you every time. Well, hopefully you have the kind of doctor that mine does. Have you been dealing with any depression? Have you been dealing with anxiety? Have you been dealing with any mental health issues? They'll ask you. And because it's an epidemic as well. And so they'll ask you, and if you feel comfortable or you're able to say yes, they'll give you they'll either tell you go to a specialist, they can ask you certain questions, they can prescribe medicine. It's really up to you to explain to them what you've been dealing with. But I think anxiety makes a liar out of people. It reminds, and then because of social media, there's too much worry about what other people think, because other people have their own hangups and they can't get past them. It reminds me when Taylor Swift had that video, and one of she changed the video because everybody got mad. But one of the things was her stepping on the scale, and the scale read fat. And people were like, bitch, you're not fat. How dare you? But it was like, oh, so you're just one of those people that pretends to understand mental illness. You pretend to understand insecurity and stuff. You don't really understand, because if you understood, it's a liar. And it doesn't matter how the world perceives you and what the world is securing and informing you. If you have like an eating disorder, the eating disorder doesn't matter that you're not looking the way you think you look in the mirror. It doesn't matter. Depression doesn't give a fuck about what you've accomplished. It's like, you ain't shit.
Right.
And so I remember seeing that and going, oh, we can't get past our own hangups. So it's not really a safe, conductive space. The only hopeful safe spaces you have is with a therapist, with a doctor, someone that can professionally help you, because you can't fucking depend on the world to be safe for you.
Right. I agree. And like I said, it's one of those things that the more alert you are, the more you can adapt and you can adjust and think about it. You don't, quote unquote, make it go away. You just learn how to maneuver through the world better with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hard part for people, because people just want to, quote unquote, get over it.
Yeah, you want to beat it like a test and be like, and I don't have anxiety, and I won, and I'm back to healthy mentally. And it's just like, that's not how it's gonna work for most people anyway. But there's things that can help you. There's things you can learn. And you may find a coping method that, like, visualization helps me tremendously. I know people have found it with like meditation. This helps some people. Also, just mindfulness, being present helps me. And also communication, because since I probably said it before you did, but I know how you get anxious about making mistakes or not being able to figure something out. And in the moment, I'll be like, hey, this is fine. I'm not upset with you.
Right.
I don't mind
you
helping.
Have to I'm not the
I want to
enemy.
help you.
Yes.
I've been here before. I also don't know what we're doing. We're going to find out together. I think those kind of things help. And, realizing that I'm not the bad guy.
Right.
Like, because that's the thing that would trigger me, is somebody coming at me like, even though you're communicating openly and saying how you feel, I'm going to assume you are a worse person than you are. So to me, what I would be picking up on in those moments is, oh, regardless of how I feel or what I say to Karen, she's treating me like I'm the enemy and I'm dangerous and I'm
Right.
secretly upset with her and I'm harboring anger that I do not feel
Or
and
do
keep
not-
saying I don't feel.
Right.
But it just doesn't matter. How I feel doesn't matter to her at this moment. She's decided that, you know, I must be so exasperated and think she's stupid and shit. And
right.
you know, it used to bother me in that way because it's like, you know, that used to be a big trigger of mine, is like, you know, people that treat me as if my communication isn't enough. I thrive on
Right.
being not just communicating, but being straightforward with people. Like, not in a rude way, but I mean, some people take it as rude, but I'm pretty straight up with people.
Yeah.
Whether they, you know,
either
like
they fuck with you or they don't. Right?
I try not to be mean,
Mm-mm.
you know, but I'm like, I pride myself on being like,
You're very flat footed.
yeah. And if I say something to like, if I say something about you, it is 99.9% chance I'd say exactly those words to you. Like, it's not even behind their back. It's like, no, I like, even my dearest friends, my loved ones, my family, it's like, I'm because I'm not like shitting on them or whatever, but I'm like, this is how I feel about this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, and we roll with it from there. And I think, so anyway, it used to be a trigger for me when that would happen, but, you know, I learned to just be consistent and like trying to be a common presence and communicating to you that, hey, no matter what's happening in your head, I'm not feeling that. I'm not going, damn, you fucked up the computer again. Like, no.
Yes, a lot of it is projection. And then what happens is a lot of times when anxiety kicks in, I just fuck the shit up more because I just start doing random shit and defeating the purpose of what
I mean,
we're trying
people
to
witnessed
accomplish.
it if they were live in the chat when I was in New York and you unplugged some things because you were cleaning in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to try to walk you through and troubleshoot it. I don't remember if we did an actual show that night, but I do remember it took 30, 40 minutes longer than it needed to take because I would ask you a question and then you would just do something without even listening or answering the question.
Right.
And then I'm not here to see it, so I gotta guess if you did the right thing or not. And it, you know, normally wasn't because you were just panicking and just hitting buttons and changing things.
All right.
You know, and so people that were in the chat got to witness that, and that's, you know, we've gone through that before, just us privately, you know, but we didn't have a choice but to do it publicly because we were live on the air. But yeah, so I definitely, you know, I think people can relate, and I think the idea that people should get screened for anxiety is super. I mean, it's very helpful, and you can't. The worst thing you can do is live in denial or not address it because it's a silent thing that just adds up and eats up. And your life could be improving in many ways that you don't even know because you're not even admitting that there's an issue there.
Right. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, if you really sit down and think about it, some of your behaviors and some of the things you do and how you interact with people can stem from anxiety / depression, sometimes a combination of them too. You know, something that I had to realize as an adult, like particularly in the office workspace, like, you know, like the 9 to 5 when I was in the office, I'm a very timely person. So, you know, if we gonna do something, I'm there like 5 minutes early, I'm 10 minutes early, I'm there, you know, I'm prepared, I don't want to be late, blah, 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 blah. And I used to get irrationally mad at people when they were late to shit. Like, the fuck you doing? You waste my time. Like, I would just get, but then I realized it has nothing to do with them, whether they're on time or not. It actually don't really matter. You know, I'm taking the things in my mind and projecting them. You know, that's where the anger comes in because at the end of the day, it don't matter. And I realized a lot of that comes from, you know, me being a child and, you know, we would do something to go somewhere and I would be afraid my mom was going to leave me. So I would always be early, you know, and she used to be like, well, if you ain't ready by time I'm ready, I'm going to leave you. So I would be super early because I didn't want her to leave me. I didn't want to be left behind. I didn't want her to leave me. You know, so time meant something to me. You know, it's whatever time she set. So whatever time you set, I'm going to be there. And don't be late because now I'm mad because you wasted my time because you told me to be like. But all as I've gotten older, I realized a lot of it is projection.
Yeah, and now you even show up to the podcast late a lot of the time. So you got over, you beat that one.
I embraced it full-heartedly, didn't I?
Now I'm the one in here like, damn, I thought we were starting at 7, you know? All right, let's go to another segment. Let's see, where should we go? You know what? Let's do some Black capitalism.
Shout out to Will Smith. I hear y'all talking. Only thing I'm listening to is that paper. Every day we get into that paper. Woo! I hear the money talk, I see you later. Every day we get into that paper. Woo! I hear the money talk, I see you later. Don't think I forgot Harry Trump's supposed to be on the $20 bill.
Oh yeah, Black capitalism. Time to talk about it. Diddy, the P, the D, the I, the D. Diddy launches online marketplace for Black businesses.
Okay.
Now I'm scared to sign up because I know he's gonna take 75%, and I'm gonna end up looking like Mace and being like,
I'm at see how everybody else do first.
end up in the cult like Craig Mack. I'm scared.
I'm good.
But he said, my mission has always been to empower Black entrepreneurs, create more opportunities for them to access the resources, tools, and support needed to build successful businesses. Empower Global will uplift Black entrepreneurs, keep dollars circulating in our community, and make buying Black a lifestyle. All right. Well, good luck. Okay.
Yeah, good luck to you all. It's a good thing because not trying to find it. A lot of times we don't know people to kind of highlight us, you know.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, but it's like the rush card. I'm a little scared because of who's running it. Like, but he also donated $1 million to Jackson State University. He said if it wasn't for HBCUs, I wouldn't be here. Now that I do love. Because I know that's he's not getting a percentage of the HBCU. Just give us some money to him, and we love to see it.
Yes, sir.
And Jackson State, I believe, is the one that Deion Sanders was coaching at before he went to Colorado or whatever.
Yes, sir.
And to see that there's still people giving money even after Deion left is huge, because that was one of the things the people that well, on both sides, if I'm being fair, people that shitted on Deion and the people that love Deion were both on some well, now that he left, no one's going to donate money, to this university anymore. And it's cool to see some people still pledging money.
Good. I'm glad.
Let's see. Taco Bell announces Sean Tresvant as its new CEO, becoming the first Black person in that role. We love to see it.
We do.
I don't know if he's related to Ralph Tresvant or not.
That's the first thing I thought too.
Yeah. God.
We need a taco with sensitivity.
You need a taco with fast delivery.
That's good too.
On DoorDash like me. He gonna be the Black CEO. It kind of makes sense. Maybe the food will get better, maybe they'll add a little more spices, maybe it's gonna only be fire sauce now. No, in my mind, for some reason, Taco Bell felt the blackest of the fast food, but I don't know why. I mean, obviously, at the Checkers and some of the more local spots, but I mean, I don't know why it felt the blackest to me. Cause I don't know what I'm relating that to. Maybe because I only go to Taco Bells in Black part of cities. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Cause I know McDonald's got the Sprite game on lock, but
child, you ain't nobody fuck with McDonald's Sprite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not even the in-store Sprite.
I guess McDonald's somehow feels black, but not really, because
McDonald's Sprite and orange soda.
I guess it don't, but McDonald's don't feel black because my mama used to always be like, we got McDonald's at home and you got McDonald's money, which I didn't have. So it felt more off limits, But yeah, I don't know why I'm associating. It's probably some negative anti-blackness shit that I haven't figured out yet. Bun B's Trill Burgers reportedly sells over 53,000 smash burgers within 30 days of opening its brick and mortar.
Oh shit! How I get my hands on one? I want it shipped here.
Bun B may affectionately be known as one of the best MCs to come out of Houston, Texas, H-Town, but he also has the burger game on lock. According to Trill Burger's Instagram account, the establishment has sold more than 53,000 burgers. That feat happened within 30 days of its brick and mortar location opening to provide the famous smash burgers to his Longhorn community.
I bet you that shit was jumping.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Bun B's Trill Burgers opened his first flagship restaurant location in June 2023, just a year after his plans to find the perfect location to make the cuisine available to fellow Houstonians. Man, Bun B is just so well liked and such an ambassador for like hip hop and black business and shit. I don't really know nobody that don't like Bun B.
No.
So good for him.
Good for him. Keep making money so you can ship it nationwide so I can get my hands on some.
Karen's like, and good for my stomach.
Yes, I want you to be able to freeze it and ship it.
A fresh start. Rich Negro elected as new Buffalo Teachers Federation president.
Is that a code name or a real name?
That's his real name. Black capitalism. Okay, shout out to Rich Negro, who is, wait a minute, this is a white man. Oh, I thought a Rich Negro had, okay. So this just, Rich Negro, just this white man on the left here. Okay, all right, well, this is not black capitalism. We're going to take this one out. Okay, you almost got me, Rich Negro. You tried it. It's pretty sneaky.
With that name.
Pretty sneaky, Rich Negro. Boy.
At first I thought about a rapper. That sounds like a rapper name, Rich Negro.
I got to start reading past the headlines now, okay? The creator of the viral pink sauce says she's broke following the brand deal with Dave's Gourmet. I've been silenced and financially sabotaged.
That shit sound like the hot mess because you sold it, it was problems, you got a deal, it went on shelves. Next thing I know, people were saying they was $4 for $1, so I don't know.
Her name's Veronica Shaw. She launched a GoFundMe campaign with a goal of $100,000. She revealed she's facing financial difficulties because the company that supported her sauce legitimacy hadn't fulfilled their agreement. As a young entrepreneur with big dreams, I followed my intuition and went forth toward my dreams to create something new. I made a few mistakes on the way, which led me to trust a company that is trying to take everything away from me. They lied to me, they are not paying me, and they are not being transparent about records. Without explicitly naming the company, which is presumptively Dave's Gourmet, Shaw alleged that they have not reimbursed her for the marketing costs she paid out of pocket. So y'all bought some pink sauce, it ain't go to her, according to her. I'm a single mom. I do everything for my kids right now. I don't even have enough money to buy my kids food on my own. The spokesperson at Dave's Gourmet refuted the allegations. Dave's Gourmet has adhered to the terms of the agreement with Ms. Shaw. We disagree with Ms. Shaw's allegations. Dave's Gourmet paid Chef P, that's her name, P-I-I, I guess, over $120,000 to date, and it continues to make all payments as due and on time based upon the terms of the contract. We've offered to reimburse her for her lawyer's time and go over the terms of the agreement and how it relates to the payments that were made to Ms. Shaw. She indicated that she's open to an amicable resolution of the dispute and the parties are in discussion.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, depending on what she signed, and if they tell the truth, it's gonna be documentations of that. They were like, we paid this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. This is how much we agreed upon. Mm-hmm. So, if they are lying with something like that, that's kind of easy to prove.
Boom, 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 boom. Hey, we're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them black people. We're just fucking with them blacks. We're just fucking with the black people. Hey, hey,
Karen, what do you give that last article we just read?
Oh, I give this one 25 because I'm a little irritated, but not that irritated. because it sounded like she didn't know what she was signing. She thought it was one thing, or they told her it was one thing, and it sounded like it was completely what she thought it was, and what they said is they don't all line up, and she feel like she's getting a raw end of the stick when it may or may not be true, because they're gonna comb through the documentations and be like, this is what we said, that you had to cough up this money, we had to pay this, like whatever the case may be. And I know, when it comes to lawyers and lawyering and all that stuff, everybody says these things, but for a lot of people, they don't have the money, nor the resources, nor the time to actually do all this upfront. And the shit costs money. Lawyers ain't cheap. And, unless it's something big, lawyers ain't going to do shit pro bono. So people act like you're just supposed to go in with a lawyer. But for a lot of people, how you going to do this when you don't have the money nor the resources to get the lawyer?
Yeah, I feel bad for her. I'm going to say 50. I hope that it's a misunderstanding and it's not, they truly just have not paid her a dime.
Right.
And it's like, I'm fucked with either way, because either A, they're lying and she's getting ripped off and they didn't give her any money and she's telling the truth, and that's fucked up, because a lot of the people rooting for her is a Black woman entrepreneur. Or it's B, she's lying and using the fact that she's a Black woman mother to make us all go give money to GoFundMe. And then it turns out she has gotten some money. Maybe it's not the money she thought she was going to get or something, but now we're, rah behind her. And so either way, it's going to fuck with me.
Right.
Krispy Kreme apologizes for using a slur in a new ad campaign.
What?
We never intended to offend. No, what the hell?
Slur they're using for donuts.
What the hell could a slur? First of all, it's Krispy Kreme. This is some Dunkin' Donuts behavior. Okay, I don't expect this from Krispy Kreme. I mean, okay, if this is some cake donuts, sure. So this is the video of it, and we're gonna see where people are accusing it of being racist. So can you see the video? So it looks like congrats, and then I see.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh God. So if you can't watch it live, it says congrats, and the O in congrats is a donut. Then 2 more donuts join, making it spell Cooongratulations. Which is what I said to Sage Steele when she finally got out of her ESPN deal. I said, congrats to you, sister. But that's not what we want to see.
Oh no, did they have the 2 eyeballs like the t-shirt?
Like nougats?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. And it has 3 O's.
Yeah. Oh, I think maybe they thought the 3 O's would save them from the wrath of the internet, because it's like, no one says coon. They say 2 O coon. So
just leave one bouncing donut and we'd have been fine.
I mean, Krispy Kreme do have a lot of K's in it,
Krispy Kreme.
I can see some people feeling the way about that.
And you know what? I hate to be like this. I'm still gonna get me some donuts, even though they said congrats. Yeah, congrats. Can I get a lemon filled? Go ahead and give me that dozen.
All right, well, 0 to 100, Karen.
I get this to 25. I'm fuck with, because you thought throwing a 0 in there, but I'm not fuck with, because I know I will still be buying some Krispy Kreme donuts. So I guess I am the congrats they talking about. You'll be back here next week. Yes, I will.
As for me, I give it a 0. Because Krispy Kreme is so good.
Yes, it is.
It's the best donuts. And if that means I gotta tolerate a little bit of accidental racism, then I guess I got to,
I be following them bouncing O's right on to the Krispy Kreme line.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they made a mistake and I gotta be that person, and just call me LL Cool J, because a little accidental racism, it's all right with me. Okay?
I'm fine with it.
Dear Mr. White Man. I wish you understood. Okay?
I wish you understood. Even though you have some glaze filled, I'm still from the hood.
Right. It's just gonna have to be what it is. I'm
Yes,
sorry
sir.
to let the blacks down on this one.
I'm
But
sorry I disappointed you all.
I'm siding with the KK on this one. Okay, they didn't go to full KKK, but I'm siding with the K. I'm siding with at least 2 of them Ks.
I'm sided with the ooms. With the ooms. That's who I
Listen,
that's,
you know what? It won't be racist after I eat 2 of them donuts.
It sure won't. It'll go right back to congrats.
Matter of fact, it's just gonna be congrats because it's not gonna be no O's in that motherfucker. It's gonna be nothing but consonants when I get done chowing down on them delicious donuts. Okay,
I sure am. Tell them bitches the hell up. Don't care.
Okay, if that make me a coon, call me Jason Whitlock because I'm.
Just call me a nougat. Just call me a nougat.
I'm sorry to let y'all down. Okay?
I'm sorry I let the community down.
I tell my mom I'll never be like any of those Negroes.
Okay.
Because, child, I see that hot night light on. I'm turning around. That's one thing I missed about school, going down Murchison Road. When me and you used to be out at night and we had a few dollars between our names. Every time, I don't care what time of the day or night it was, if you rolled by and that fucking big ass hot night sign was on, we would literally turn around 4 lanes of traffic. We would go up and you turn around to go to that bitch and buy a dozen box of donuts. Didn't care.
Yeah, we used to live like up the street from one of these Krispy Kremes back in the day, man. I used to ride on by sometimes and be like, what's going on? They know me. Ask about your boy.
Come on.
Y'all got any more of them donuts? I'll suck your dick. Like it was serious up in there.
It was a problem.
All right, let's get oh man, we've cooned out enough. Let's move on.
Let's move on, my nougat,
to another segment.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
That's right. It is guess the race time. We're going to go around the globe, find different articles, guess the race of the people involved. And of course, Karen's going to play. The chat room's going to play. And I hate to say this, but spoiler alert, they're racist, everybody. Okay? I know you didn't see that coming after we just played guess the race. I mean, fuck with black people. But it happens. It happens. All right, first story. A 3rd grade teacher was arrested for allegedly being drunk in class on the first day of school. Listen, they got guns in the teacher lounge. They getting drunk before they pull up to the school.
Ooh, you talk about depression. She was like, these goddamn kids.
Y'all little kids is bad, and I'm convinced more than ever it ain't the teacher's fault, okay? It's our fault. We starting school with 200 vacancies like it's just normal. Of course they drinking and got guns.
You think she hit the 2-drink minimum before she came into school?
She said, listen, I'm taking my 2 drinks for the week on today, okay?
Oh, at once.
And we'll see how Tuesday goes.
If I feel any better.
You know how drunk you have to be for 1, kids to notice.
Right.
2, to get arrested. Like, you know, you got to be
wasted.
Yeah, 3 sheets to the wind, dog. A 3rd grade teacher in Oklahoma was arrested last week. She showed up for work on the first day of school with a blood alcohol level 3 times over the legal limit.
Ooh, how did she get there? I hope she caught the bus.
She don't know either. Kimberly Coates, 53, was confronted around 3:20 p.m. Okay, now first of all, props to you, sis.
You made it the whole goddamn day.
Okay, because you make it to 3:20. Honestly, they should let that one go.
Right, the day over with. Shit, the kids is about to go home if they ain't already out for the day.
If you make it to 3:20 drunk teaching school, then I mean, what was there ever really a problem? What the fuck going on after 3:20? Ain't nothing going on with the teachers' lounge.
That's it.
Okay, them kids supposed to be in after school, out of your care. They supposed to be doing extracurricular activities.
Not in your face.
You being drunk ain't got nothing to do with that.
Ain't nothing.
You can grade them tests drunk. Come on.
Yes, you can. Teachers probably do that shit all the time.
But she was confronted by the school resource officer, Shane Dean, and Perkins Tryon School Superintendent Doug Ogle over possibly being intoxicated. Well, first of all, you snitches, why don't y'all mind y'all business and do the business that pay y'all? Okay, worry about the school getting shot up, resource officer. You superintendent, go superintend some shit. Okay, stop fucking bothering teachers is mind their business.
She was like, what that got to do with me? The day over with. Ma'am, you smell like alcohol, and the kids been complaining about you slurring. Ain't nobody slurring.
Can you do your alphabets backwards? You know I teach them forward. You know that's a trick. I teach back. We don't teach backward alphabets in my class.
Yeah, but like, man, what's 2 times 2? 64.
Yeah, yesterday around 3 p.m., Superintendent Doug Ogle was made aware of a possible situation involving a staff member. The district immediately contacted the Perkins Police Department, whose officers are overseeing the investigation. The school district is conducting an internal investigation and cooperating with law enforcement. The district's number one priority is to provide a safe learning environment for students because it's a personnel issue. We're unable to share additional information at this time. Here's another thing I don't like about it. I think as a kid, my school would have been a lot funner if some of these teachers was allowed to be drunk. Okay? That sticklers a little too many rules for me. Officer Warren body cam footage showed Coates interact with Ogle, explaining that she had taken medicine for anxiety the night before. When asked what she took, she could not name the medicine.
She under 65 apparently. She's like, they told me to go get checked.
What medicine did you take?
I don't remember.
Crown Royal. I took a little bit of Natty Ice.
A little bit of vodka.
A little bit of Smirnoff. Okay.
Some of that rum. Ma'am.
Doctor said, take 2 of these shots and call me in the morning, okay?
Apparently so.
The teacher then agreed to take a breath test to determine her blood alcohol level. It was 0.24. And of course, the legal
0.24?
And the legal limit was 0.08. And she was drunk enough to fall off of the wall in Game of Thrones.
Apparently so.
A cup was found in her classroom with red liquid in it. When they asked her what was the liquid, she said, my juice.
Oh, no! So she probably been sipping on that shit all goddamn day long.
I need my juice to dip. Listen, the kids have juice. I can't have juice. I got a little adult juice, okay? What? So they can take fluoride. It's got alcohol in it.
Ma'am.
The officer said, want to try that again? That there is wine. The teacher told the officer she drank out the cup the day before and not during class that day.
But ma'am, it's here with you right now. That's all we care about. And you smell like alcohol.
She admitted to drinking half a box of wine until 3 a.m. the night before the first day of school.
Half a box? Woo!
Karen, you ain't never had to deal with these kids. That's light work.
Child.
Probably was
drinking.
Probably was drinking it with our hand shaking. Like, I gotta deal with these fucking kids.
And for those of you that know what, a size of a box of wine, you go a half a box. Girl, you were going.
Anyway, guess the race.
What's her name again?
Her name is Kimberly Coates, 53.
I'm going to go black.
All right, Karen's gonna go with black.
Kimberly Coates, 53. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna go white to let it go all day long.
All right. I'm drunk on something different today, officer. That's fine. Was she using it as sunscreen? White.
Oh no!
Was beer tanning the day before white? Single white drunk female. Sounds white, but they locked their ass up, so black. White is the box of wine. The wine came in. White wine woman. Red liquid was she was drinking Boone's Farm and Kool-Aid. I gotta go black on this one. Mimi says, unlike her wine, she is white. White girl wasted white. They let her go on all day. Kim Cole's black. White wine woman. The correct answer is Karen said black. Oh no, Karen said white. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all said black. The correct answer is she was white. Have you missed it?
Yeah, she is
Yeah. She's
plastered. Yeah, and I thought about it because at first I said black by the name, but then I was like, didn't let her go all day? Nope, she got to be white.
This is the body cam footage. It's 35 minutes, so I'm not gonna play it all.
Kimberly, come on in here and have a seat a second. Okay. I want to visit. All right. So, just observing you in classroom, it looks like something's off a little bit. And so I've asked Officer Dean to come in here and visit with it. Have you taken anything that's, do you have a prescription for anything that maybe you have taken today that just seems like?
I needed to, yeah.
You don't?
I mean, she don't seem that drunk to me, but maybe they saw some stuff earlier I didn't know. And plus, they're around her every day, so they know how she behaves normally. But.
Right, I guarantee you there was something happening where they go, something not right.
Tourists vowed, "I'm not going to get lost," before vanishing in Alaska.
What?
Yeah, Alaskan authorities are searching for 2 Tennessee tourists who have been missing for almost a week.
Oh, were they big and bad? They was like, yeah, y'all gonna need some GPS. Let everybody know, we ain't gonna get lost. And then nobody found them.
Jonas Barr, 50, and Cynthia Spain, 37, were reported missing to Fairbanks police last week when they didn't check out of their Airbnb. They checked into their lodging August 9th. They were supposed to check out on August 11th. The couple's belongings were left behind in their Airbnb, but their families have not heard from them. Family members believe they got lost on a hike after a social media post included plans to leave base camp and vowed to not get lost.
Oh no.
The couple visited Alaska for Barr's 50th birthday, according to his Facebook. He posted photos of Denali National Park and a birthday brunch in Anchorage, and previously posted about his quest to visit all 50 states, ending with Alaska for a milestone birthday. He said, "I greatly appreciate all the web love for my B-Day. Hurrah. Finally have a signal as we leave base camp tomorrow at 7 a.m. in Denali. A checklist range of the Great Four. I'm not going to get lost like I did 10 years ago in Australia and Katoomba Range. If a Kodiak gets me, I'll consider that an honorable death." Laughing emoji.
I bet you a Kodiak, whatever the fuck that is, did get him.
Ooh.
What is that? What's a Kodiak?
A bear.
Oh, okay.
It's just, that's art. The irony gods was like, we can't allow this to slide.
What if a bear got you, chewed you up, they'd never find neither one of y'all.
All right, Karen, guess the race of this couple.
Child is 100% white, going hiking and shit.
100% white. Okay. Oh man, that is wow.
And then talking about we ain't gonna get lost.
Yeah, it's like Tupac's last Facebook post being definitely not getting shot tonight. Who visits Alaska for fun? White people. They better get a Liam Neeson and them damn wolves to come find them. White. Gonna be on Mr. Ballin in a few months. White. Grizzly man and woman. White. Overconfident whites. Fake deaf whites.
Oh no!
Man versus wild ass white folks. The correct answer is white. No, I watch too much true crime because my first thought was murder suicide.
Something happened in there.
Like, another one of these white men. But
I hope he didn't. Right, they out doing something. Take her in the forest somewhere.
Well, we don't have to get too detailed, but I'm just saying that was my first thought. Karen's like, let's discuss it in painstaking detail.
My bad.
It's okay. It's just a joke.
I hope.
I'm sorry.
I ain't racist.
What were you gonna say?
I was say I hope Yogi and Boo Boo met him and
Not the Kodiak.
Right. I hope they were just still in a picnic basket. I couldn't help myself.
Why? I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggers. Just call them niggers.
It's time to get
Gold
the race.
teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey ate baboon, big dime, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
Was the documentary BS High? Was it about the high school kids for the fake high school? You didn't watch that with me, did you? I didn't think you did. Okay.
Like I said, I remember it after we got off the show. I'm gonna go and find it afterwards.
Was it Balco? Was it about the Barry Bonds, the dude with the steroids? No, I don't think you watched that with me either.
I forgot. It was just some random day you was in there watching, and I sat down with you. Then went back to lunch. I do not remember the name of the documentary, but it was really short. It wasn't a long one. It wasn't
like Fatal Attraction or just one of them regular somebody kill somebody episodes.
It may have been, my bad, but I don't think it was. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was a documentary we was watching. I was like, oh, that was good. And I can't remember what it was. My bad.
I've been watching Caught in the Act Unfaithful lately. I'll probably talk about that more with Justin on pregame.
Okay.
Because that's up his alley.
No problem.
All right. Last story. North Carolina woman arrested after leading friends and family to think she was murdered.
Oh, no.
Yep. Margaret Frances Maggie Elizabeth Sweeney, 37.
That's
of
a
Franklin.
long-ass name.
Well, Maggie's her nickname, but Margaret Frances Elizabeth Sweeney is her full name. She was reported missing on Friday. Officers began an immediate investigation due to information that she was endangered or deceased. She was, however, found safe the next day. Investigators determined that she made anonymous false reports to a friend and State Department of Social Services that she had been murdered. She was arrested Monday and charged with causing a false report to a police station. False report of death or serious injury by telephonic communication and obstructing law enforcement officers. Sweeney's actions caused our department, as well as other departments, many hours of work on other matters.
Right.
The police department wrote on Facebook, family, friends, and community as a whole, we're also very concerned and worried about Sweeney's welfare. A similar case made national headlines last month, and they bring up Carly Russell. All right, Karen, guess the race.
What's that long ass name? I'm going to go right.
All right, Karen's going white. Let's check what the chat room is. What y'all got to say? Man, I guess reporting yourself missing is all the rage these days.
Child, I don't want to go missing.
All them little house on the prairie ass names. She wasn't on blast like Carly White. A Catholic white full of shenanigans. White woman. Sweeney is alive and white. Alabaster white. White with the Catholic confirmation name. Too many names you can actually spell white. Damn. The correct answer is white. Things to point out. One, someone said Carly but spelled Carly's name wrong, which comes full circle with the person that said too many names you can actually spell, which is hilarious. Two, the reason I think this really didn't go viral is because she was only missing for the one day. Like this sounded like they found her right away. And also she said she was murdered, not kidnapped, which leads nowhere for like people to really go social media wise, or like we just looking for her. But also like her eyes say a lot.
Yes, they do.
I don't know why, but her eyes feel very much like I would fake my murder. You know, maybe I'm just projecting in hindsight, but if you told me her and Carly was related, I wouldn't put it past you. They got the same I be faking shit eyes. Oh my God, did I just Freudian slip? Lies? Even when I'm not trying, guys, I'm out here doing it, okay? Because real eyes tell real lies till they realize it's real lies. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Sword ratchetness time. I'm punch drunk.
Not punch drunk. You get your juice, baby. You get your juice.
A Kansas man admits guilt in sword attack on girlfriend and her dog.
Damn, what the dog got to do with it?
Kansas man accused in a violent sword attack and later on attack jail deputies entered a plea in the case on Monday. James E. Brown, 58.
James E. Brown, 58. I'm gonna go white.
Karen's gonna go white.
James E. Brown.
For James E. Brown, 58.
James E. Brown. That's such a nigga name.
He is black.
Okay. That makes sense.
He pleaded guilty to attempted murder and animal cruelty and aggravated domestic battery charges for the sword incident. On March of 2021, they arrested Brown for a verbal disturbance with his girlfriend that turned violent. He grabbed a 5 to 6 foot sword. Damn.
Woo.
What? Nigga, are you Cloud fucking Strife? Why would
Where
anyone...
y'all be getting these 5 feet swords from?
That sword is as tall as a person.
I told you, I am 2 inches taller than that.
Good grief. During the disturbance, he struck the 41-year-old woman multiple times and stabbed her dog multiple times. Investigators also learned the woman had been strangled. She was taken to an area hospital for treatment of severe injuries. September 8th, 2021, 2 corporals and a deputy were escorting Brown to his cell when he produced a metal shank and swung it at the deputies. Oh, he's just a wild weapon swinging brother.
Yeah, they charged it for her and the dog. It's a shame what they did to that damn dog. I couldn't help myself.
I know. We all know you can't help yourself. A struggle ensured. You don't need to apologize for funny jokes. Okay? A struggle ensured during the deputies and Brown and in an effort to control the metal shank and end the assault. Once Brown was restrained, he was evaluated by clinic staff and transported to the hospital for treatment. He was later returned to the detention facility. 2 of the deputies involved sustained injuries to their hands, according to Blick. On Monday, Brown pled guilty to aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, criminal threat, and trafficking contraband in correctional institution. He's scheduled for sentencing in October. All right, y'all. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's a bit of all over the place and in and out, but thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Please show up to our live show. We'd love to see you there. Please buy tickets. September the 9th, downtown Charlotte. It's only 2 weeks away. It's going to be a fun time. All right, y'all. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your night.